I wanted to do an update to Bitcoin. So last night I posted that the correction for Bitcoin was likely starting, and we saw that just because the last couple of days Bitcoin has been on a basically a phenomenal bull run. It's not as crazy as some of the bull runs that we had in 2017, but after this kind of long downtrend, it was definitely a welcome relief, and a lot of people, were happy for it, and the market sentiment really changed. But that said, whenever anything goes up, it never goes up in a straight line. It never goes up parabolically forever. It's gonna retrace at least a little bit, and that's what we're seeing today, right? So I posted that likely we're overextended yesterday, and that we'd correct back down. And my main indicators for that were the oscillators and also this rising wedge that we were seeing. And you can see that basically overnight we broke down, and kind of the hint that the current move was in last night was, let me get to a better time frame, was this ending fifth diagonal that I had seen. We broke out of this wedge to the upside, which is very bullish. And then let me go find this. There was, basically this ending fifth wave that I saw. So a couple days ago, we had this large triangle, and triangles in Elliott wave theory always appear either in the B position of a wave ABC or wave 4. So we had this triangle here, and that was kind of a big hint that, hey, probably this is wave 4. And so if wave 4 is in, then we're basically looking for five waves to complete wave 5, right? So if you look at the chart here, it looks like we have 5 waves. Not the cleanest, but it's definitely all there. So I can show you what that looks like. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and that could be 5, right? So we have 5 waves there after wave 4. We're super overextended. There's bearish divergence. It looks like we're going to correct. So we started correcting, and this is the structure that I'm seeing right now. We have a 5 wave down, and then an ABC, and then another 5 wave down. And right now, everything looks pretty oversold. And if I do a measurement from the last 5 wave down to this one, we see that we made a 1.236 extension. So what that tells me, and what the structure tells me is that likely what we're seeing is an ABC. So an ABC is a 5, 3, 5 structure. So what we have is 5 waves down, we have an ABC, which is 3 waves. I'll show you what that looks like. A, B, C. Bring the degree down. And then we finish in 5 waves. It's possible that this is going to actually become a larger Elliott wave 5 wave impulse. That's always possible. So that would look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that in a different color. Something like this. But I think, right now, based on the oscillators, and we're kind of seeing bullish divergence. I'll show you that on the 30-minute. I think that this move down is done. So you can see here, price goes down. and the oscillators are kind of bottoming out a little bit, right? Um, so again, it's possible that we go a little bit lower, but it looks like this move is pretty near completion. So the way that we're going to be able to tell is if we hold this pivot, right? If we break below this pivot, then it's likely we're going to see another set of impulses down to finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But really, if you're holding on to a long position right now, I wouldn't sell. I would wait for at least a bounce. So if we're calling this an ABC, then what we're looking for out of this is another ABC and then 5 waves down. So the correction is not done yet. I think we had like a little bit over a week of upside. I expect at least a couple days of downside, so at least 1 or 2 days. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to correct a little bit further. So what that's going to look like is, so we have ABC, and we're going to look for another 3 waves up, basically the bounce, and that's going to be somewhere to around the 50% or 0.618 level. So if we do a fib retracement from the top of this ABC, we can see that the 618 is around here. And 618, and if it's an ABC zigzag back up, it's going to be kind of, A and B are going to be equidistant. You're going to want to look for another 3 waves as part of A, 3 waves for B, and 5 waves up to finish C. And that's going to be the hint that this ABC is in. And then, after this ABC is in, we're basically going to look for 5 waves down. Oops. So we can measure that. And, most commonly in ABC, at least the idealized version, is going to be a 1-to-1 extension. You can see that, here to here, we actually did a 1.236 extension, which is perfectly valid. You can basically do an extension anywhere to the 0.618, the 1.0, the 1.236, or the 1.618. Those are the most common regions for an ABC to basically end. And Bitcoin over the last couple of days has been super bullish. We actually saw a lot of kind of shallow 0.618 ABC extension. So it could do that again here. We're not going to know until we take a look at the price structure coming down. But if we zoom out, we can kind of pick a level that makes sense, with the Fibonacci retracement of this entire move and the price structure that we have. So, if we look at this move very easily, what we can do is we can just do a fib retracement of this, entire bull run here. That looks pretty good. Let's see if this point is a little bit better. Yeah, this point's a little bit better. So what I'm looking for here is I'm just looking for price action to, respect this fib retracement. So this one looks pretty good. And now if we look back at our ABC here, get down to 30-minute. Clean this up a little bit. We can see, the highly probable places that this C wave is going to end, based on this idealized B wave, is 618, which doesn't look like there's a lot of price action there to support it. So I don't think that that's going to hold. Also, it's not around a fib for the larger retracement. This 1.0 looks pretty good. It's by the 0.382 fib retracement of the entire move. And there's price, to support it, some kind of price support here, kind of resistance turn support. And then also we have the top of this triangle. Another, pretty good place for price to stop and reverse is this 1.236 level. That looks even more solid. And there's, again, a confluence between this extension from ABC, this top of this triangle, and also price levels here. So let's go ahead and mark that. as possible areas for Bitcoin to bounce from. And I expect this to come out a little bit, maybe, retap the bottom of the wedge that it's been in. And we'll make this a larger degree as well. So this is kind of what I'm seeing right now, and we have limited data. We have limited data right now, so we're gonna have to wait and see. But I think these are decent levels for it to bounce from. The other option is we go deeper. The count that I'm, pretty fond of for this, for the consolidation that we've seen the last couple of weeks is really this ABCDE triangle that I keep talking about. And I just want to bring it up again in this video. So this is kind of the bigger triangle, the larger trend that I've been seeing on Bitcoin as it's been correcting, and it's very technical. A lot of Bitcoin's moves are very technical, and it's been playing out beautifully the last couple months really. And so what this is saying is, we're consolidating after a huge bull run in 2017, and this is healthy consolidation before another bull run. ABCDE basically implies that price could come all the way back down to the bottom of this triangle and then bounce from there. So it's possible that we retrace further than any of the levels that I mentioned previously. But I think the prudent thing to do is to watch price action as it comes down, watch that ABC bounce, and then look at the price structure to see where Bitcoin might bottom. Also with the E wave, it's a failed wave down, and so it doesn't have to stop at the bottom of the triangle. It can really stop kind of midway and then bounce, which would be totally fine too. And this pattern is bullish because it's an ABCDE in what I see as a larger wave for retracement. So this is Bitcoin kind of since the beginning, and you have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're looking for a 5. My projections are north of $100,000. So there's still a lot more upside to come, but in the meantime, we have to correct a little bit, and this seems to be what makes the most sense in terms of what we're going to see here. The correction could get a lot more complex, and it could go lower. So I'll keep you guys updated. That's all. All right.